Hello! Welcome to Glasgow Goal Gators YouTube channel. My name is Kit. Since it's International Women's Day today, I decided to speak about one of my heroes. I've just finished reading this autobiography called Breaking Night by Liz Murray. So my book review is going to be on this today. I want to speak about Liz Murray's journey. A number of years ago, I watched a movie that I stumbled across on YouTube called Homeless to Harvard. I think it was From Homeless to Harvard. Look it up, Liz Murray. So in the movie, which is about 90 minutes long, it covered the main points of Liz Murray's childhood and her teen years. In the movie, which is quite different to the book, there were a number of details that was changed and some major details that were not included. So I strongly suggest reading the book before you watch the movie. So what did I get from this book? Liz Murray had been abandoned, neglected by her parents who were drug addicts. Liz's mum, Jean, had suffered schizophrenia. Now, there were times when her mum would be taken into a hospital to help her with her schizophrenia relapses. And I can relate to this because my big brother, before he passed away very suddenly in November 2013, was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was aged 21. Similar to Jean, my big brother took relapses because he would stop taking his schizophrenia medication randomly between 3 and 4 years, which I realised there was a regular pattern to this. So I can relate to that pain that Liz had experienced and struggled with. She saw how her mum was suffering, how much pain her mum went through due to schizophrenia, and her mum used drugs to block out the pain. Her dad also got into drugs to run away from his abusive childhood. What most inspired me about Liz's journey is that she decided that she doesn't want to go on the path that her parents had been on, getting into drugs and being a drug addict. So she realised she was the only person who could do something about her life. Liz lost her mum at the age of 15 from AIDS. From there on, she decided that she would finish her high school, get good enough grades to get into what the Americans call college and we Scots call university. Liz got a scholarship from New York Times. They sponsored her, which cost $12,000 US back then per year for 4 years. Liz graduated high school. And one of the most amazing things about Liz is she completed 4 years of high school in 2 years. She crammed in as much as she possibly could in 2 years. That was to be done in 4 years. Now, the decisions she made during those years were, do I get out of bed every morning to go to school, or do I stay in bed? Because staying in bed was comfortable, it was cosy and warm. Or do I get out of my bed into the cold and get into school to make a change to my life because I don't want to end up like my parents? That's what really inspired me. That was the most empowering thing that Liz did for her life. She turned her life around from being homeless to going into school every single morning. And during this time, she would sleep with her friends, different friends, some nights. And she had to carry all her books, her clothes, and whatever she owned in a backpack. If you consider how big a backpack is, all Liz's belongings was stuffed into that backpack, and she would take it everywhere. She would carry it. It weighed her down, it dug into her shoulders, it was painful, yet she did it anyway. it's most inspiring to realise that you can still make something out of your life, even if you are homeless, even if you have lost your mother at the age of 15 to AIDS, even if you do have a father who is a drug addict who's lost his home and living in shelter, who's also dying from AIDS. It just goes to show that in life, we all have to deal with our own struggles, setbacks, adversities, yet we can still climb off that painful rut, painful hole, and change our lives. Because I remember my first mentor, Jim Rohn, said, for things to change, you must change. And that's what Liz Murray did. She made changes to her life. Instead of skipping school every single day and doing unproductive things that didn't put her in a rich and wealthy environment where she could get into college and better herself and improve her quality of life, she decided that she would get out of bed every morning, even then it was freezing cold. She would get to school, even when she didn't have enough sleep, drag herself to school, get good grades, and she eventually asked for help from her teachers and her peers and whoever else was around to help her. And she applied for a scholarship. She got into Harvard. She graduated. She made amends with her dad and also her sister Lisa, whom she had an exceptionally turbulent relationship because of her dysfunctional family, because of her parents' abuse and abandonment. I can relate to all this. Even though my parents weren't drug addicts, my parents were addicts. My dad was addicted to gambling, smoking, and drinking. My mum was addicted to work. So I know all too well what it's like to see a parent's being addicted to something, even if it wasn't drugs. But my ex-husband was addicted to smoking and gambling. His mum was also addicted to gambling. So I know all about addictions and I've read up on it, even though I'm not an expert. I'm not qualified as an expert to counsel anyone or help someone recover from addiction. I know so much about it because I've attended CODA meetings. CODA is short for Codependents Anonymous. Now, Liz's parents were a codependent. Liz was a codependent. Lisa was a codependent because they were born into a dysfunctional family. So I can relate to all this child abuse, child neglect, child abandonment. I can relate to all that. Liz was a caretaker to her parents. She took care of her parents' needs because they were unfit and incapable of taking care of Liz and Lisa. I can relate to that so much because I was the caretaker in my family. That's the takeaway that I got from this autobiography. I highly recommend it because Liz is such an inspiration and she's an empowerment to women and men. At the end of the book, Liz invites you to her website, manifestliving.com. At the end of the page, she shares with her readers that she set up workshops to, and I quote, to empower others to lead their best lives. And that's what Liz has been doing ever since she graduated and got great, exceptional grades at high school to get into Harvard. She wants to empower people. That's empowering. Nothing brings me more joy than seeing people overcome obstacles to succeed. For this reason, I've created a free video series for my readers where I share stories, ideas and tools designed to inspire you. But Liz is inspiring even though she has been robbed of a healthy and functional life due to her parents' drug addiction, mental illness and their own unresolved and unexpressed past issues from their childhood. That's what I got from this book. And because it's International Women's Day, I thought I would share this with you. I hope you got some value from this video. Until the next one, take care, stay safe. It's bye from Glasgow, Greta. Kit.